pain and struggle in your relationship, and you may be asking yourself, should I get a divorce? I'm going to help you answer that question today by asking yourself some questions. Hi, I'm Carol Tuttle, author, healer, teacher. I was going to say best-selling author. I have written 6 books, most recently Mastering Affluence, 6 Lessons to Create a Life You Love. And I highly recommend this if you're in the experience of struggle in your relationship that's gotten to the point that it's so painful that you're asking the question, maybe the only way to end this is to get a divorce, because really what you're tired of is the pain. And I have a beautiful section in here on how to create relationship affluence, how to bring your relationship alive. I am an expert on answering the question, should I get a divorce? You see, my husband and I, we've been married 38 years. We've probably cycled through a painful space with each other, a very, very challenging and difficult space, at least a half a dozen times over the years, where we actually asked that question. We wondered if that was the only way to eliminate the blame, the conflict, the struggle, the way we triggered each other so profusely and so repeatedly. It got to the point that we would get into a pretty predictable place of struggle and angst and arguing and blame, and it'd get heightened and it'd get so frustrating that we even would just say, we should just record this and press the play button because we're doing it over and over and over. And so I understand that pain, that place of feeling so powerless and so trapped by your relationship. And it is so easy to blame the other person. And so recognize that the reason you're asking the question, should I get a divorce, is because you want to eliminate the pain, the struggle, the discontent from your life. And you're realizing that's the only way to do it. Now, if you're in a situation where someone's been unfaithful, there's been extramarital affairs, there's been lying, cheating, there's some things for you to look at in yourself as well that we're going to go over today. That why would you be with someone that would create that experience in your life? So the first step is to own it all as your story. Your relationship is your story that you're producing. You're crafting it. You are at the nucleus of this. The more I could bring myself back to that place of awareness to say, this is my creation. I am manifesting this. This is all a byproduct of my conscious and subconscious beliefs and my patterns that I've acquired through life. And now it's getting mirrored back to me. And I don't like it. And I want to blame somebody. And I want to get out of this. So we got to a place where it was the last time we cycled through this. It was several years ago, probably 5, 6 years ago. And we felt very defeated by our experience. Very just surrendered. We didn't even have the energy to blame each other anymore. We hardly had the energy to raise our voices, but we still felt that sense of being trapped in a relationship that we did not feel loved and supported. And the thing that had kept us going through the years was both my husband and I had a keen awareness that we would take our energy with us, obviously, and our story, and most likely cast someone new in the role of playing the partner and create a lot of the same stuff. That we would never get away from it because we would take it with us. And I've seen so many people in my therapy and practice over the years that had multiple marriages because they recreated some version of the same story. So we would always come back to that place of self-accountability and say, I'm going to own this, and I'm going to change myself and work on our partnership skills and communication so we can stay together, because why not? Let's work this out together. We were drawn to each other in love. Let's bring the love alive. Let's keep bringing the love forward. So ask yourself these questions. The first question is, because this may be perpetuating the energy of setting you up for divorce. You are running a pattern, an energetic pattern. And the first question is to look beyond your own life experience and say, is there a history of divorce in my extended family? If you're a child of divorce, if it's in your ancestral line, there's a pattern that pattern preceded you. That energy is alive. You're a carrier for it. Is that setting you up to create angst, dilemma, struggle, and pain in your relationship so you can create the pattern of divorce. Because as you clear that, you free yourself to create harmony, love, and support in your relationship. So if your answer is yes, there is, I can help you clear that. This book. The second question to ask yourself is, do I believe my spouse will never change? If you see that there's things that your spouse is choosing that are not supportive to your desires and what you want to experience in a partner, and they'll never change, you're projecting that energy onto them and keeping them captive in playing that out for you. You're very, very powerful. And as you project out that perception, they will never change. You'll make yourself right. Notice that. Do you think it? They'll never change. They did it again. Do you speak it to people? Well, I wish they would do that, but they would never even consider it. They'll never change. So how deep does that belief go? Because as long as you're projecting that out, they won't change. So open the space. I am starting to believe my partner is willing to change, willing to take accountability, willing to open themselves up. Start believing that. The third question, do I have a history of not being supported by men or women? I had that history. I come from a family of predominantly male family members. I have no sisters. I have 3 brothers, my father, my mom. My mom was a very subordinate, very traditional role as a female. The man was in charge. My mother really was second to that, and that wasn't a reference point for me as the kind of female experience I wanted to have and be, and especially in a relationship. So I grew up not having support from men, with men all around me. I wasn't heard. They weren't there for me. They weren't interested in my well-being or my interests in life. Still really aren't very much. My father's since passed away. I can count on one hand the amount of times my father in my adult life initiated a phone call with me to say, hi, I'm calling to see how you're doing. He didn't do that. And so something that I go back to, that I even have to continue to catch myself in running the belief of, I'm not heard and I'm not supported by men. See, if you're running that, if that is a program you run from your childhood, if you're male and you run it about women, if you're female and you run it about men, you're going to create that in your current relationship. It won't matter if you leave this experience and go create another one. You'll create the same thing because you're taking that with you. So you got to clean that up. I have clearing sessions for that at healwithcarol.com. And the fourth question is, do I believe divorce is the only way out? Like, the only way I'm going to get free of this trapped feeling is to get a divorce. Again, there's no out. You've got to go within. Go within to create the out. Mean, what's going on inside here in your beliefs, your feelings, and even your spiritual perception of your experience. You've got to change that in order to change out here. And the last question is, do I believe my spouse is no longer the love of my life? That's a big one, because you start thinking they're not, they're not my soulmate. Maybe you felt some connection or bond with somebody else, and this is like, they're truly the love of my life. Well, I'm a firm believer that there's one love of your life. Right after you watch the video, I want you to go stand in front of a mirror, and I want you to meet the love of your life. It's you. It's not somebody outside of you. It's not some one person that's going to make you feel more whole. That is such a misconception. That, in my opinion, the whole soul, my soulmate, that is overrated, because you're going to create angst and issues and stuff with anybody. You're going to mirror each other. Guarantee it. The early phase of any relationship is pretty hunky-dory, but that's why the media, movies, I'm like, I want to see this couple in 10 years, man, when they're going after each other, because it's not going to look so great. The whole knight in shining armor, the mystique of that, the woman of my dreams. Like, you are the love of your life. Fall in love with yourself. As you love and accept yourself and start to meet your own needs and feel the wholeness within you, people show up differently. And that partner in your life starts to love you differently and more authentically. And you let go of these needy hooks you put into people. I need you to be this for me. I need you to do this. Get rid of the word need. You need yourself. You need to love yourself. It's time to do that. Go look in the mirror and say, oh, there you've been all along, the love of my life. It's amazing to fall in love with yourself and to become your own best friend. So answer these questions and you're going to be able to say, should I get a divorce? We got back to that and said no. We actually made the decision one day we're going to get a divorce. We sat there in our bedroom and we looked at each other. I said, well, I guess we should just decide. Let's get a divorce. It was instantaneous that both of us got a massive download, a hit, an insight. We were both told that feeling overcame each of us independent of one another. You are not to divorce each other. You are to divorce the energy you keep creating in your marriage. And we looked at each other and went, did you get that? Did you get what we both knew we did. I'm like, no, that's not the answer. We need to divorce the energy that we keep creating. We have successfully done that. And that's why I could even write about it in this book and how we did it. To create partnership, love and harmony in your relationship. Because you're going to have the same challenge with anybody if both parties are willing. Make it work with each other. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to get my weekly Heal with Carol videos. Like this video and share in a comment how it helped you and if you have any questions. And go to healwithcarol.com and start clearing your own stuff. Healing what's going on in here because it changes what everything looks like out here. Thanks for watching.